Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to episode 29 of my show, Wrestling with Brent. Um, just going to be giving you the reviews of the wrestling shows. I'm not going to have a review on the Ring of Honor show from Saturday because I couldn't find any results for it. It was a special pandemic episode, but it was a good episode. I liked it. It was good. Um, it was a lot of they was interviewing a lot of the Ring of Honor wrestlers. They was talking about what the about the pandemic and like how it affected them and different things like that. But it was a good episode. Um, so if you can find it somewhere and watch it, it's worth watching. Uh, all right, now I'm just gonna before I go into the each review of the shows, I am going to be doing the AEW show from the other night. The special NXT episode the other night because it was considered a special event and it was also very good. I don't usually cover NXT, but it deserves to be talked about because it was a very good show. I really enjoyed it. Just same with AEW, I really enjoyed it. And I'm going to be going over the MLW kind of had like a special show of theirs. It was good too as well. Um, so I just thought all it was worth covering. Um, so here we go. Before I go into each show, I just want to throw out just quick little thoughts. The first thing I want to talk about is Monday Night Raw. Monday night was this big, huge night. They were supposedly supposed to have. They've been advertising, pumping it up for the last couple weeks, and it was Legends Night. In my opinion, it wasn't very good. It was very underwhelming, very disappointing, just very lackluster. Um, and apparently, I was watching Joe Conan show, and him and Jake DeMarco was talking. Jake DeMarco was talking about apparently, if you don't watch any of Joe Conan stuff, you don't know who he is, check his YouTube show out. And Jake DeMarco, they just post very good content. Big fans of them. Um, yeah. Um, And Jake DeMarco was saying how it's finally come out that he read a bunch of stuff. It's come out from different websites and stuff online. And reporters were covering wrestling that apparently the Raw Legends had a lot of just a lot of mistakes that happened. Um, People that they even advertised for the event turned out they never even asked them to come. Um, so it was like falsely promoting people that was going to be there, didn't even show up, they weren't even there, didn't even get invited. Things like that. Apparently, Hulk Hogan didn't want a job for Randy Orton. That's why Randy Orton scaved, pretty much all the legends, Mark Henry, all them on the mic, and roasted them. But he didn't roast Hulk Hogan because Hulk Hogan refused to do it. Um, so yeah, thought that was funny. Um, just different things like that. Uh, the Legends match, some of the matches were good. Some of the wrestling was good, but the Legends as a whole just a letdown. Um, the people that were there didn't really do a whole lot, um, and it just there was no payoff. It was like what Jay DeMarco said Monday night. There was no payoff to anything that happened. Um, Out towards the night, Randy Orton did a good job and, did some scathing promos, dissing all the legends and, you know, so you figured, they've been pumping up the legend killer gimmick, again the last couple of weeks and especially early on in the night of the episode, so you figured there was going to be some big payoff for Randy Orton and that stuff with the Fiend. The Fiend and Alexa Bliss didn't even show up. It was never mentioned again from the way it went off by the cliffhanger last week, where it just went off in the middle of him dropping a match, supposedly burning Alexa Bliss, and then she was on Instagram, fine, fresh as a daisy, after the show. Um, so there was no follow up on that. It's like it never happened. Um, Randy Orton never come out and did any attack on the legends. Instead, we had Goldberg come out. Yay! And I don't dislike Goldberg. I actually like Goldberg. I'm a fan of Goldberg's. I like him. Pretty good. Uh, but he come out and got in Drew McIntyre's face, which didn't make sense at all. The stuff he said made no sense. Jake DeMarco reported he had said that it's been reported that they wanted to go back to ad lib. Instead, he just read his lines as he was written to him. He read what was written to him, and that's why, of course, none of it made no sense. Um, Seemed like he got flustered and fumbled his words, didn't really know what to say. Like he kind of didn't forgot what to say. He didn't know what he's talking about. Uh, Nothing he said made sense. He was sweating a lot. Back to what Joe Quinn said Monday night, he was sweating a lot. He didn't look healthy. He had a big red dot on his head, like he busted his head open to get on the locker as he hit his locker when he comes walk out to the ring. He looked sweaty, looked tired, looked like he blowed himself up just walking to the ring, like he was out of gas by the time he got in the ring. Uh, just terrible. And of course, all he did was like basically punk Drew McIntyre out, and this whole reason of he disrespect the legends, none of it made sense. He basically pushed Drew McIntyre, and the clock ran out, time ran out. It's just so stupid. Uh, yes, so I hopefully if WWE is smart, and I don't trust WWE anymore, they never do the right thing anymore. They always do something stupid. They always screw things up. They just make terrible decisions. If they're smart, Drew McIntyre will beat Goldberg at Royal Rumble, and he'll help put Drew McIntyre over. Um, you know, Goldberg will drop a McIntyre if they're smart, but more than likely, WWE will screw up and they'll have Drew lose the title to Goldberg at Royal Rumble, and it'll be something, Goldberg and Roman at WrestleMania for the title, or something stupid. Um, but they're smart. I actually like Goldberg. I was never the biggest Goldberg fan when he had his big run in WCW. I was never a big WCW fan, but I watched it, a little bit. I was all WWF, Attitude Era, WWF. Uh, but I did watch WCW, a little bit, to see what was going on. And I liked Goldberg. I was never a huge fan, but I didn't dislike him. He was okay. Uh, you know. So if he was to come back and even do some things in WWE, that's fine. Um, I don't mind seeing him. It would be interesting to see him. It was interesting when he showed up, Monday night. You know, but as long as he don't, they don't put him in a title picture and don't have him compete for title, don't let him win a title. I'm perfectly fine with Goldberg being back in WWE. Yep. So yeah, Legends Night to me was just a complete disaster, complete waste of time, waste of 3 hours. They accomplished nothing. Uh, just terrible. Um, yeah. All right. So now, also before I get into go into the review of these shows, I just want to say, just to point something out. AEW was very good. Yes, they had some botches, and I just want to give my opinion on this. Just people in general, wrestling fans in general, all over. You see it online and YouTube videos, on people's podcasts. Old wrestling personalities that have podcasts. All of them have them now. They always complain about the botches in AEW. There's always botches. Who cares? In my opinion, a botch is going to happen. Um, Botches especially are going to happen now more than they've ever had before. Especially thinking AEW's case, they wrestle like what once a week. They don't do house shows. They're not wrestling every night, every week, every month, like every single day, like WWE and all of them used to do. Um, so you're going to have botches. Botches and accidents are going to happen. People are going to be out of place. Stuff's going to be mistimed. People are going to screw up. It happens. And it's going to happen a lot more, especially with AW Town. I mean, a lot of them, indie town that's not used to being on a big stage, still. Um, it could happen to veterans. Christopher Daniels had a botch, the other night on Dynamite. Who cares? Botches happen. Christopher Daniels still a great wrestler. Yes, he's older. Yes, he's lost a step, but he can still go. Who cares if he botched or not? Who cares? Uh, so people, in my opinion, just nitpick every little thing that AEW does wrong or that people in wrestling do wrong and just nitpicking. Who cares? Who cares if he botched? Botches happen. It happens on WWE a lot. Um, God, I mean, Nia Jax, that's all she does is botch. It seems like she screwed up in like every match she has, in my opinion. Her kicks or something looks phony, or she hits somebody wrong and injures them. I mean, it happens all the time. I was at a WWE house show just a couple years ago, and I believe it was Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins versus I believe it was Tyler Breeze, and Seth Rollins super kicked Tyler Breeze, and actually super kicked him, missed, and guess he wasn't really supposed to hit him, but he super kicked him, actually hit him in the face. And my mom, that was my first time she's ever been to a wrestling event of anything. She didn't know what to expect, and wow, she called it, right there, right instantly. She said, "Wow, I believe Seth Rollins really hit that guy in the face, really hit Tyler Breeze in the face." Believe he really hit him in the face and really hurt him, because you could hear it, and that just didn't look right, and you could hear it just the way he reacted to it. Breeze reacted, and he got really hit in the face, and the guy sitting across beside me said, "Wow, I believe he really got hit in the face on that one." Um, See, my mom could tell, that it was a botch. So I mean, botch happen. A botch to me in wrestling, and maybe it's just me, but I like to compare it to like in football, an interception, a fumble happens. Tom Brady, if I'm not mistaken, he was setting a record, or had a record going, or a streak going. Uh, 162 straight games, 152 straight games without an interception thrown. He threw his interception this year and broke that record. That streak ended. And he set a record like for the most attempts on most games thrown without interception. And that happened. That happened to Tom Brady. Uh, so I equated the same thing as an error in baseball. Um, there's some guys in baseball who never commit errors. Um, just all of a sudden they're they're gold glovers because they're so great in the field and so great on defense. Just out of nowhere in like a big game, just in a random game or a meaningless game, they'll or even just a game, you're never not expecting it, and they'll commit an error. Same thing in wrestling. Guys are going to have flops. Flops are going to. Botches are going to happen. Botches happen like all the time in wrestling. In my opinion, the stuff they move, the way moves and stuff that they do, it's in my opinion, it's a wonder they don't have botches more often. Like every single time they wrestle. Um, so it's amazing that they get away and do the stuff that they do in the ring, in my opinion. Uh, so who cares? My opinion, on botches, who cares? As long as the match is good and it's entertaining, and it work hard, everything works out. The match turns out really good or great. Who cares if there's a botch? Who cares? Um, so it's just my little opinion on that. Sorry for that little rant. That's just my opinion. Uh, all right, so now on to the show. So here we go. Uh, all right, so first I'm going to do the AEW show. I watched it live and then watched NXT afterwards, and they were both great shows. I really enjoyed them. Um, all right, so the first match we had the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson and SCU, Christopher Daniels and Blake Kazarian versus the Acclaimed, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, and the Hybrid 2 and Jackals and Angelico. And also, before I start the review, I just wanted to say, too, uh, by now, everybody I'm pretty sure knows who's follow wrestling. They saw the big happening that happened on at the end of Dynamite, end of this episode. Um, After the match, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Impact World Champions, showed up on Dynamite and helped beat up and got involved and helped beat up. You saw several members of the AEW roster jump over the barricade and try to stop them, and Gallows and Anderson beat them up. Uh, Brian Pillman eventually at one time tried to hang in and help hold Kenny Omega. The Young Bucks come out, and as they're holding it, they wanted one of the Jacksons to super kick them. The Jacksons super kicked Brian Pillman instead. Eventually, they all stood in the ring and did the Too Sweet together. The Jacksons, Omega, and Gallows and Anderson. So this is essentially, they was bringing the Bullet Club back together, bringing the club back together. People on YouTube and stuff were complaining afterwards, saying that that's not possible because they're retiring all the New Japan stores. Finn Balor was the original member Bullet Club, and that none of that makes sense. I don't think that's what they were going for. Like Jake DeMarco and said on hit on their show the other night. I don't think that's what they're going for. I think they were just going for, everybody was in the Bullet Club at one point, and that's very true. Um, so I just think them all being, they just all happen to get them all together, and Bullet Club back, and is it back? I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think it's be cool to see them. Um, you know, for those that watch New Japan, Jay Club is basically said he's the leader of the Bullet Club now and claims he still does Too Sweet and said he's the leader of the Bullet Club. Uh, so we'll see. There's been so many members and non-members of Bullet Club, and so many different variations of the faction. It's hard to keep up. Um, Seems like everybody's been a member of Bullet Club or is a member of Bullet Club now at one point. Um, you know. So now, but I liked that ending, and I liked it was shocking in a way to see Young Bucks, join, and now that makes sense. Everybody was complaining, a couple months ago, what's all this Young Bucks doing with all this, why are they just going around super kicking announcers and super kicking people and not talking and acting all angry and acting all tough, and why are they doing that? It's stupid, it's dumb, and not explaining it. Well, now you see why. Now you see maybe that's why they were doing that because they were, going to be heels and be in the Bullet Club. Now they were getting that aggressive side ready for the Bullet Club reunion. Um, so, we'll see. This could have just been like a little tease, just a little one-off little thing, because Kenny is sort of working with the Impact a little bit to help promote, and he's going to do a match with them. At the next pay per view, it should be a good match. Have a match with he's going to be partnering with the Good Brothers against Motor City Machine Guns and Rich Swan. Uh, we had another little throwdown the other night on Impact, and that was actually good. Rick Swan and Rich Swan and the Machine Guns uh, actually ran outside and was going to confront and beat up Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers, and they went to their trailer and beat it on them, and Omega and the Good Brothers snuck up from behind them and beat the crap out of all three of them, and Omega tore his shirt off and was choking one of them, and they just beat the crap out of them and said, well, we'll see you at the pay-per-view, at the pay, talking about the pay-per-view, and it was a really cool little beatdown. So there you go. Um, so if this means the Good Brothers and the clubs back in the Bullet Club's back in AEW, I'm all for it. That'd be really cool. Also, Joe Cronin the other night on his show said he believes all this is going on because he believes Tony Khan has bought Impact Wrestling. AEW has bought Impact, and they're eventually going to. It just hasn't been official yet that AEW is basically going to buy out Impact like Vince did WCW, and AEW is going to have the rights to get Impact's roster and going to get some of the talent from Impact's roster. And I actually believe him. I believe when I agree with his theory, I believe that's what's happening because and Joe Cronin said this as well. Few months ago, they were saying for months how AEW had a third show in the works, and we hadn't heard nothing else about it, and don't really have any titles. And I believe that's going to be end up being the third show. I believe it's going to be something. And Joe Cronin gives a pertinent for AEW Impact. I believe that could be a possibility. I believe it's going to be. I believe that's another while they're working together. AEW gets a little bit of helps AEW out and gets them some exposure, lets them use some talent, but it's really also helps the Impact out. Impact has to have some revenue come from somewhere. Like the shows they're doing now, you have to have a big company that's paying for it, but um, they're doing shows with no crowds. They got to do something. They got to have money coming in somewhere. They got to pay their talent. Um, so why not? And why wouldn't AEW buy Impact? Impact's not very good, but they do have some wrestlers that I do like. They do have some talent, a few of them. So AEW could buy their talent, put them with AEW, and just make them a part of AEW, and have them on their show. And I mean, it would do nothing but benefit AEW and help Impact, if you want to call it, help an Impact, which would probably be just AEW Impact, or, AEW probably buy them out outright, give AEW more talent, with, add some more women, Jordan Grace, Kira Hogan, um, Deanna Purrazzo, Taya Valkyrie. Add them to boost up that women's division. You could add Sammy Callahan in AEW, Eddie Edwards. Yeah. So this would I see a partnership between them and AEW behind them being enough but a win-win for both companies. In my opinion, if that happens, and it could all just be like a little invasion. They're gonna be a little one-off. Just AEW having, Impact helping AEW out, just doing a little cross promotion just for a little bit. It might not last long, you never know. But I believe it is something to that, and I believe something big is going to happen. Um, so we'll just have to see. All right, on to the show reviews. All right, the first match of AEW, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and SCU, Christopher Downs and Frank Kazarian versus the Acclaimed, Matt Caster and Anthony Bowens, and the Hybrid 2, Jack Evans and Helico. Uh, the Acclaimed come out, and they thought it was cool. They was actually, they had a new speaker showing. They actually had the Bump Box Snoop Dogg Doggy Star Edition speaker. I'd love to have that speaker. Snoop Dogg Special Edition Bluetooth speaker with him this time coming out to the ring. It looks so cool. I would love to have that thing. It's very expensive, like $400. So I don't think I'll ever get it, but it'd be really cool to have. Cool speaker. I thought it was interesting them having that, and also Snoop Dogg being there, and of course the Go Big Show that came on earlier tonight. I thought that was interesting. Um, cool little promotion, little tip there. I thought it was cool. Nice touch. I'm probably one of the only people that picked up on that. But then Clay come out and did a funny rap. I liked it. Uh, this was a very good match. I liked it. Um, it's a lot of dives. TH2 did some cool dives and had some moonsaults happen and just a lot of unorthodox stuff from Hyper 2, and I liked it. Uh, the Young Bucks did good. It was a good match. I liked it. Um, Basically, the ending was Caster interrupted the Master Driver, and Evans almost Rolled up Matt. Uh, Daniels and Matt hit a Melter Driver on Jack Evans for the win, so that's how they won. Uh, so the winners of the match was the Young Bucks and SCU. It was a 9-minute, 58-second match. So it was a good match. I liked it. After the match, Kazarian reminded everybody about the next time SCU loses a match. Like I said, last week on my show, that the next time SCU loses a match, that they're done as a tag team. So I liked how he mentioned that to the crowd. Uh, Christopher Daniels told the Young Bucks that they're coming after the tag team titles. So the SCU made their intentions known. They wanted to come for the titles. So that's cool. So it was a good match. I liked it. Good, fun match. I liked it. Uh, Next, we had John Moxley making his way to the crowd. Uh, he said he wasn't going to complain about what Kenny and Don Callis did to him. Instead, he was going to endure and not back down. Uh, that he wanted to beat up Omega. He cut a really good promo. I really liked it. Um, but that he wanted to preserve a fixed chance to win tonight. He promised to get even with Omega. Um, so it was a good promo by Moxley. I liked it. Very good promo. Moxley's fire on the mic. Just great promo. Uh, Dasha Gonzalez is backstage with Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy. Chuck Taylor says that Trent is going to be out for 45 months for torn pectoral muscle. Miro keeps saying Penelope Ford interrupts. It's always good to see Penelope. She looks beautiful as always. Uh, and they mock Chuck Taylor. They set up a match between Taylor and Miro for next week. If Miro wins, Taylor becomes Miro's young boy until after the wedding. That's like a slang term they use in like New Japan, basically like an errand boy, like a mascot, or I guess a little manager type, I guess you'd call it, like a slave almost. He'd be a Miro's slave, basically do whatever Miro wants, uh, tie his boots, clean his boots, wash his clothes, whatever. Yeah, it was all right, whatever. Uh, all right, next, We have the match between Wardlow and Jake Hager. I really liked this match. It was very good to see these two big guys face off. I really liked it. The whole inner circle is watching from the ramp. They go back and forth trading wrist locks and chain wrestling. They have stereo clotheslines where they collided. They both tried shoulder blocks at one point. Wardlow caused to run Hager to the floor. Uh, Wardlow hit a spear in the corner and hit a spine buster on Hager. He does a Falcon Arrow that looked cool for a 2 count. Hager did a short arm lariat and got a power slam. Did his ankle lock. Uh, Wardlow got out of the hole, knocked Hager off the apron into the barricade in the ring. Wardlow hit a German suplex for a near fall. Wardlow hit a really nice swanton, but Hager trapped him in a triangle choke. Wardlow got his foot on the bottom rope to break the hold up. Wardlow hit his F10 for the victory. So this was a good match. I liked it. Both wrestlers looked good. Wardlow looked like a beast. Hager looked good as well. It was a 10-minute, 21-second match. I liked this match. It was a good match. It was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So it was a good match. I liked it. Wardlow won with his finisher, the F10. Next, we see Private Party running to Snoop Dogg backstage. Matt Hardy come by with his manager come to Private Party. He mockingly brought up, just third-party platforms like Twitch and stuff like that, Cameo. Uh, Team Taz and Darby come to the ring for a weigh-in. With Darby and Tony Schiavone in the ring. Taz took issue with Cage having to weigh in first. Cage weighed in at 272 pounds. Darby weighs in at 170. Taz mocked the difference. They're about to come to blows when the lights go out and Sting appeared. Team Taz retreated. So it was cool seeing Sting repair. So apparently, Sting's helping out Darby Allin, every time for backup as backup. Maybe eventually they're going to have a match between Team Taz against Darby and Sting, maybe, or maybe just Sting's just helping Darby out. It's going to be like a manager to Darby, or just like an enforcer, a backup just for Darby, or just like I said, eventually it's going to be an enforcer in AW and just to, help with interferences and stuff like that, um, just to even things up. Maybe he won't even wrestle. He probably won't, but you just never know. But it was cool to see Sting and like Taz on the mic getting frustrated. It was just cool to see all of them together. And Ricky Starks looked cool, had his shades on, and Cage looked like a beast, and Hobbs looked like a beast. So it was just a cool segment. I liked it. Um, then we get cut to backstage. MJF goes to the locker room and tries to calm down Hager. Jake, after his loss, Hager actually showed appreciation to MJF, so they pretty much, Hager pretty much more accepted of MJF, of him being in the inner circle. So that's what that was. In my opinion, it was a good little segment. I liked it. Um, so I liked the last segment and the little backstage stuff. I liked it. Uh, Next, FTR interrupts an interview with Jurassic Express to make fun of Marco Stunt. Stunt says that he'll team with Jungle Boy next week against FTR. So this was cool. Just this little interaction was cool. I liked it. Uh, Next match, we have Cody Rhodes versus Matt Sydal. Cody actually come out with Snoop Dogg in his corner. Jericho was on commentary and did a good job. Had some funny jokes. He just always kills it on commentary. Um, he threw little digs at in the scalper like he does. It was funny. Um, Jericho's just really good on commentary, and I think him and Excalibur and Shivani and JR just all work well together. It just make it interesting and make it fun. It's just a whole lot better than WWE's commentary, in my opinion. Um, you know. Uh, Snoop Dogg come out accompanying Matt Sydal to the ring. Snoop Dogg actually stood out on the ramp in the entranceway on the carpet, stood up the whole time during the match and had Arn Anderson's playbook with him. Thought it was funny how Snoop Dogg called it Arn Anderson's Waffle House menu. So that was funny. Snoop Dogg would use it to, and he had some funny reactions and was just really into the match. Animated, just really slamming his hands down and for the pin and just jumping up and down and kind of ooh and just really into it and covering his face up with with the paper. I thought that was funny. His reactions and stuff were funny when they would show his reactions. Uh, Cody and Matt Sydal put on a really good match. Matt Sydal put up a really good fight. In my opinion, he out wrestled Cody. Just really took it to Cody in this match. Cody acted like he underestimated him. Uh, Matt got some good kicks on Cody at some points. Um, had a really nice roundhouse kick. Uh, Sydal tweaked his knee at one point during the match. Cody missed a punch at ringside. He actually hit Serpentico in the crowd, and that bled into, later on what happened, uh, after this match was over, and you'll find out here in a minute. Sydal landed a flying crossbody, but Cody rolled through and applied a sharpshooter at one point. Uh, Cody continued to target the knee. Uh, Cody hit a reverse suplex from the middle rope. Sydal boarded a top-rope moonsault connected with a knee strike. Uh, Went for a shooting star press, but Cody got his knees up. Cody hit an inverted DDT for a 2 count. He hit his disaster kick on Sydal. Sydal kicked out. Sydal snapped off a hurricane run and hit a lightning spiral for a near fall. Cody avoided a knee strike and hit 2 crossroads for the victory. So he hit 2 crossroads, and that's how the match ended. Cody won. It was a 10-minute and 5-second match. Cody got the win over Sydal. It was a good match. I liked it. Uh, Very competitive, very hard hitting, very in your face, physical, aggressive match. After the match, Chaos Project, Serpentico wanted to get even with Cody for, hitting him accidentally on the outside. So they jump in the ring and start beating up Cody. Snoop Dogg gets in the ring. Um, Funny. He was too far away, said get him closer. Snoop Dogg tried his best to attempt at a top rope splash. It was a terrible splash. It looked like Snoop changed his mind and got scared right there in the middle of it. He splashed. He would have had it if he'd have laid all the way out. Halfway down, he decided to use his knees and just kind of roll up. So he did basically turn to like a little halfway little knee drop. Halfway instead of a full-on splash. So it didn't look good. It was terrible, but it was funny. At the same time, his whole reaction, that thing was funny. Uh, it was just cool to see. I mean, Snoop Dogg. I love Snoop Dogg. I've always been a big fan of his. He's just always entertaining no matter what he does. Props on him for trying and, being on, and doing that. Uh, I give him an A for effort. I couldn't hate it. It's Snoop Dogg, so he gets a pass from me. Uh, so it was just cool to see him. It was cool how he talked to Jericho and JR and all after, on his way up the ramp. So um, that was cool. Um, so yeah, props on Snoop Dogg for trying. I love Snoop Dogg, such a big fan of his. Snoop's awesome. I mean, how can you not love Snoop Dogg? Yeah. But all right, next match we have the AEW Women's World Title. Hikaru Shida versus Abaddon. From what I saw online, a lot of people didn't like this match. I actually enjoyed it. Maybe that's just me. I thought this was a good match. I like Abaddon's character. I like how she been biting Sheeta lately. I like how she bit her here and jerked up on the ring. I thought that was cool. Kind of reminded me of the Boogeyman and what uh, the WWE tried to do recently with Shayna Baszler with her biting Becky Lynch, and it looked so fake. At least AEW's looked a whole lot better as far as the actual biting and the blood. Even though the blood looked fake, it still looked cooler. Um, this was a really good match. I was surprised she'd retained. I thought Abaddon was going to win it the way they've been kind of building her up lately to be this unstoppable monster. Abaddon looked good. I like how she crawls and creeps on her back like Bray Wyatt. Crawls on her hands. But she'd also looked very good in this match. They did some cool moves to each other back and forth. I liked this match. I thought it was one of the better AEW women's matches I've seen. From AEW, I just really liked it. Maybe I've been in the minority. Maybe I'm the only one person in the world that liked it, but I liked this match. Uh, Abaddon attacked Sheeta during the entrance. Uh, Sheeta got a kendo stick shot in. Uh, Sheeta hit a basement drop kick. Abaddon blocked and hit a running knee strike and bit Sheeta on the leg. Sheeta sent uh, Abaddon sent Sheeta to the barricade and then drug her, into the ring, like I said. Abaddon comes out with blood in her mouth. Sheeta emerges bleeding from her neck in the ring. Abaddon hit a face buster and takes over. We had to break. Back from commercial, Sheeta landed a dive from the middle rope to the floor. In the ring, Abaddon connected with a clothesline. Sheeta responded with her Tomohishi for the win. So Hikaru Sheeta got the win and retains the belt. 9 minute, 10-second match. Hikaru Shida won with her, Tamishi for the win. It's a good match. I liked it. I thought it was a good match, especially for it to be a women's match in AEW. I thought it was very good. I personally really enjoyed it. Uh, but yeah, it's a good match. Uh, Now I just want to say too, and Joe Cornette said this the other night too. For some reason, or I believe it was Jake DeMarco, one or the other, they talked about it, and I agreed with them. I was really looking forward to the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match. I could have sworn it was supposed to be in, last night, the other night, on Dynamite, on this New Year's Bash, and it wasn't on, this episode, and it's not advertised for next week's episode, and nobody's saying anything why, because they've been continued on Doctor Night. Thunder Rosa beating up Britt Baker and Britt Baker, them attacking each other back and forth. Um, so why, as all of a sudden, changed that they hadn't announced anything? Maybe one of them got COVID, or maybe Thunder Rosa also posted a tweet on Twitter like, what in the world? So maybe something come up. Maybe there's an injury they're not telling us about. Who knows? Or maybe they decided to just change things up and build the suspense and just keep it going just for a couple more weeks, keep the build up going. Uh, that's a bummer. I just love Thunder Rosa so much, and I love her matches. I'm a fan of Britt Baker's too, and I like her matches. I'm just really looking forward to seeing this match. Hopefully they have it soon. Um, yep. Uh, all right. So the next match is the main event. The AEW World Title, Kenny Omega versus Ray Phoenix. I loved this match. It was very good. I loved it. A lot of good spots in it. A lot of back and forth. A lot of cool flips and stuff like that. They really beat the crap out of each other. Took some really just really uh, rough looking moves. Almost very reminiscent strong style, Japan style of like the German suplex off the top rope and stuff like that. Uh, Omega immediately in the match he started out targeting Phoenix right legs. Uh, he did a Hurricane Rana and he got cocky, being his heel character. Phoenix hit a Hurricane Rana, um, and did a Hurricane Rana on the floor, so I thought that was cool. Uh, Phoenix flipped out of a tornado DDT and connected with a drop kick. That looked good. Omega chopped him in midair. That was really cool. And ran him to the barricade. Phoenix hopped over the barricade. Uh, But then he also got caught for Snapdragon suplex from Keenan. That looked awesome. He did it to him on the floor. Omega hit a back suplex on the apron. That looked nasty. He hit another one on the edge of the barricade. That looked nasty as well. Uh, Back in, Omega hit the Contoro Crusher. Um, then he hit a backbreaker on Phoenix. Phoenix fought back and did a springboard headbutt and a shotgun drop kick. They both looked really good. Omega retreated to the floor, but got wiped out by a dive from Phoenix that looked good. Um, and if I'm not mistaken, that's when Phoenix done where he actually almost went over the barricade and actually went into Austin Gunn of the Gun Club at ringside. So it just really looked really cool. Um, Back in the ring, Phoenix hit a powerful German suplex for a near fall. Phoenix connected with a flying double stomp. Then they went to commercial. Back from commercial, Phoenix got a super kick. Omega ducked a roundhouse kick, but then he ate a super kick. They're both down at one point. Omega hit a power bomb. It looked nasty. Then he hit the V trigger. Phoenix countered the one ring danger with a reverse hurricane. It looked awesome. Uh, Don Callis did a distraction to Ray Phoenix. Omega connected with another V trigger. Phoenix went in the ring and hit an ice crusher. Um, Phoenix had a power driver. It looked good, but Omega barely kicked out. Omega blocked a frog splash with knees and caught Phoenix in midair with the Tiger Driver. That was awesome. Uh, Another V trigger gets and it got a Kenny Omega hit a V trigger, and then he actually picked him up and hit another V trigger, and I beat him with that. Both of the V trigger just looked awesome. Just a great match. I really loved it. Just a great match. Um, in my opinion, this was an instant classic. The best match they've had on Dynamite. Just a great match. I loved it. I just really love this match. Great match. So there you have it. Kenny Omega won for the One Winged Angel, still your champion, with a 17-minute and second match or so, and it was very good. I loved it. And like I said, some stuff happened after the match. Don Callis said something happened backstage, and they show Eddie Kingston and Pac beating up Penta and Pac. Uh, yep. So Kingston and his family crew beating up Pac and Pentagon. Apparently, that's why they never come out to the match to help Phoenix out. So, and like I said, of course, then the stuff about Bullet Club, uh, the Jacksons, and the Good Brothers all showing up, coming out doing the Too Sweet, teasing the little Bullet Club reunion. That was cool. So that's how it went off the air. So just a great show. I loved it. Great show. I was originally going to give it an 8 out of 10, but I believe it was too high. Um, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Great show. I loved it. Uh, yep. Um, so AEW from the other night, 7.5 out of 10. Great show. Loved it. All right. So now on to the NXT show. So here we go. NXT New Year's Eve Bash special. This was very good. Also, Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez had a great match. I loved it. I want to say, in my opinion, it was an instant classic as well. I loved this match. It was a last woman standing match. Yes, I said last woman standing. It was no disqualification. It was awesome. I was on the edge of my seat. It really just back and forth, so awesome. They beat the crap out of each other. Just a great, really fun match. Both women wrestled their hearts out. Both did a great job. Raquel Gonzalez was really her coming out moment. Her best match she's ever had. She really uh, put a lot of people on notice, really opened a lot of eyes with this match. And this match really helped establish her, and she's a beast. Rhea Ripley, even in defeat, looked great, looked like a beast. Um, just a great, wonderful match, an instant classic, in my opinion. I loved the match a lot. Uh, I could watch it again. I mean, it was so good. Uh, Same with the Phoenix and Omega match. Uh, All right, so the first match we had Damian Priest versus Karen Cross with the lovely Scarlett Bordeaux by his side. She's just so beautiful. My God, I just love seeing her every time. She's just so hot. The hottest female woman in wrestling. Uh, God, just whoo, hot. Uh, this was a very good match. I liked it. Good to see Karen Cross back. Just never been a Damian Priest fan, but he can wrestle. Um, he just bores me for some reason. But it was a good match. Um, I liked it. Uh, Started out with a stiff lockup right away. Uh, they fall out of the ring at one point, holding on to each other um, into the barricade. Uh, Cross hit a running kick in the corner, followed by punches. Cross whipped Priest to the corner and followed up with a splash. Then an overhead throw. Cross clothesline Priest over the road to the floor. Um, Priest elbows Cross, knocking him into the corner. Priest connected with a huge lariat at one point. Then hit a Falcon Arrow on Cross for a 2 count. Priest swung a kick, but Cross ducked and looked for a short tackle, but nobody's home. And he hit the turnbuckle for his repaired shoulder. Cross took him down and gave him repeated elbow shots to the ribs at one point. Priest routed and hit a springboard senton that looked good. Then hit the ropes, but Cross intercepted him with a lariat. Um, So, like I said, this was a good physical match, very back and forth. Back inside the ring at one point, eventually we'll fast forward. Cross slowed fans down, seemingly smelling blood in the water. Priest got to his feet and taunted Cross, who returned, hit him with a head kick and a quick Saito suplex. Cross goes to the corner and runs for a forearm to the back of the head and scores the pinfall. So Karen Cross is the winner. He beat Damian Priest. It was a very good physical match. It was good. I liked it. So good match. Karen Cross is the winner. Commercial break. Back from commercial, Adam Cole and Roderick Strong get interviews backstage. It was good. Uh, Next match, we have the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Santos Escobar with Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza versus Gran Metalik. Valente Dorado. I thought this was a very entertaining match. The best match I've ever seen Gran Metalik have. Thought Escobar looked good. It was. I like NXT's short run they've had here on NXT. This new run they've had on NXT. The Lucha House Party, they're doing a really good job, and they're finally getting to show their skills more than what they've ever done on Raw. I like how NXT's using them so far. They really got a lot of talent. They're really fun to watch. Very athletic. Can do all the flip stuff. I just like them a lot. All the high flying stuff, which I love that lucha libre style. Um, so this was a good match. I liked it. Um, Started out the match got away. They locked up. Uh, Grand Metal League forced Escobar to the ropes. Like I said, a lot of high flying stuff. Uh, Malik hit a reverse sling blade at one point that looked cool. It sent Sounds to the floor, then dove over the ropes onto him. It looked cool. Just a good match. I liked it. It basically ended with Metallic. Grand Malik jumps back on the top rope, but Escobar pulled him down off the rope and hit the Phantom Drive for the win. So Santos Escobar got his win with the finisher. Uh, so Santos Escobar's your winner, still the cruiserweight champion. A very good match. I liked it. It was a lot of fun match, exciting match. Um, they show Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez warming up backstage. It was cool. They're both beautiful women, in my opinion. Um, Rhea Ripley, just something different about her. Just she's so hot, and just so cool, and just so menacing, and just so cool looking, just so cool, um, like a boss. Uh, Commercial break. Back from commercial, we got a video of Mercedes Martinez talking about her attack on Io Shirai. Since she come for the title, so that was cool. Uh, Next, Xia Li and Bo Out make their return to NXT. Uh, that person is sitting on a throne that's very creepy wearing a mask. I'm assuming he's the old guy in their video packages. Uh, they walk down the ramp and Zaya's going to have a match. Zaya has Bo in her corner. She's having a match against Katrina Gutierrez. This was a good match. I liked it. It was a quick squash match. Zaya knocked Cortez down for a side kick to the gut and then sent her into the ropes and hit a kick that looked incredible to the head with a head kick to Katrina. So Xia Li got the win. It was a short, quick squash match for Xia Li, and it's good to see Xia Li back. And she looked like a whole new person, a whole new different wrestler, whole new persona and all character, which I'm sure it's what they've been going for. And it looked good. The video packages hadn't been that good, but man, her match and her look and all looked really awesome. So good match. I liked it. Um, yep. It's a good match. Good to see Xia Li back. Uh, Next, we had the last woman standing match, Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez. This was a very good match. I loved it. An instant classic, in my opinion. It was back and forth. They really went at each other. Lots of slams, lots of hard hitting. Towards the end of the match, Raquel Gonzalez even got, I mean, not Raquel, Dakota Kai got involved into it at one point towards the end of the match, and Rhea Ripley stepped in some lockers and bashed her head in with a locker. It looked really cool. Um, they smashed her through the barricades at one point. There was handcuffs involved, um, chairs, um, hammers. Uh, Rhea Ripley slammed Raquel Gonzalez through the door at one point. Or no, I believe it was Raquel Gonzalez picked Rhea Ripley up and slammed her through a glass door and broke the glass. It looked awesome. Um, it was funny. Ripley climbed high above. She laid Gonzalez onto a table. Uh, Rhea Ripley got on top of some lockers and did the second sign and did the DX crop and hit a rolling senton through the table. It looked cool. Um, like I said, that's when Dakota Kai eventually come in with the kendo stick. Ripley fought off until they smashed her into some lockers, smashed her into some lockers. It basically ended with Gonzalez lifted Rhea up at one point and hit a pump handle slam through the stage. Uh, Both women are down. The referee starts counting. As the referee nears 10 count, Carol Gonzalez reemerges from the hole and she wins. So Carol Gonzalez did a pump handle slam uh, on Rhea Ripley and did it, and she would send her through the stage. It looked awesome and brutal and it looked really dangerous. It was awesome. Uh, in a way, it kind of reminded me of Moxley when he put Brody Lee for the stage at the pay per view, the title match. So it was awesome. It looked cool. Um, I liked it. Just a very great match, instant classic in my opinion. I was kind of sad Rhea Ripley lost, but in a way I was kind of glad Raquel Gonzalez win because she deserved to win a little bit more. Rhea Ripley doesn't have to win. Rhea Ripley's established in my opinion. She's a beast. Raquel Gonzalez, they've been using her like a beast. She is a beast, and they finally was able. Her getting a win is a good thing for her. She really needed one, in my opinion. Even though I think she's very talented and really good, um, a lot of people write her off and didn't take her seriously because she hadn't really won a whole lot. So I think this is a huge win for her, very essential win, and she needed to win more. That's why I was okay with the decision with I was okay with the decision with Raquel Gonzalez winning. So there we go. Next, we saw the camera cutting out, and they saw the Wade, Johnny Gargano's stable, making their appearance. It's funny, him and Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano's killing it with his heel character of his new heel character, this whole Wade faction to him and his wife, and Austin Fury and Indy Hartwell all together. Candice LeRae and Johnny come in on a police escort. It's really funny, over the top. It was so funny. Cool, I liked it. It looked cool and awesome. They could have a flashy car and all. It was cool. Uh, Towards the end, as like I said, the way finally come in and just cutting promo, just talking and bragging this and that. Shotzi Blackheart interrupted the way and driving her new tank out. She has a newer tank. Phoebe got out of the ring and walked to the ramp, telling Shotzi she can't interrupt their celebration. Shotzi shot the cannon of her tank and hit Phoebe in the groin with it. I thought it was funny. Gargano goes out to check on Fury, allowing Shotzi to storm the ring and knock Candice down. Candice LeRae. Gargano got an apron on Shotzi, but Kushida appeared and puts him off the apron. Pulled him off the apron. Sully Dutch Lumis reappears and rings the bell before pointing to a drawing of a mixed tag match. So the next match is Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae versus Kushida. Shotzi Blackheart was a good match. I liked it. Um, Kushida and Shotzi got the win. Uh, Phoebe Kushida pulled Fury into the ring and gave Gargano a drop toe hold on the Fury's groin. Kushida rolled Gargano for the win, so that's how they won. Kushida and Shotzi Blackheart got the win. So this was a good match. I liked it. I liked the whole segment leading up to it, leading into the match. It was cool. I liked it. So it was good. I liked it. Um, Commercial break. Back for commercial, William Regal was interviewed backstage and said there's going to be a 2021 Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, so that's cool. That should be good. Um, yep. So next we have the main event, the NXT Championship, Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly. This was a very good match. I liked it. It was a very good match. A lot of people thought it was just as good as the other match. I don't say it was that good, but it was a very good match. I liked it. It was very physical and hard hitting. Um, I really liked the match. It was good. Uh, they both worked their tails off, beat the crap out of each other. Um, there was some shotgun drop kicks. O'Reilly hit a brainbuster that looked good. Forearms, there was triangles, submissions, figure fours. So it was a good match. I really liked it. Um, Very good match. Towards the end of it, Balor moved to the corner and O'Reilly goes after him. But Balor attacked the jaw again. Balor grabs hold of O'Reilly with his crucifix submission and pulls on the head, forces Kyle O'Reilly to tap. So Kyle O'Reilly tapped out. Very good match. Finn Balor still your NXT champion. Uh, Finn Balor, you can see is busted open. He grabbed his title and they show replays of the match. The Undisputed Era come down and check on O'Reilly and Balor walks over to give him a nod of respect. So the Prince reigned supreme over NXT, and that's how the show ended. Um, so that's it. That's it. Finn Balor's still your champion. Just a great show. All the matches were good. Just a great show. I loved it. Um, just a great show. Uh, So props to NXT for putting on a great show. But also give it a 7.5 out of 10, as it had a classic match in as well as being the Rhea Ripley and Shotzi match. Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez, excuse me, my opinion. Just my opinion, the instant classic. Great match. I loved it. Great show. I loved it. Also a great AEW show. I also gave it a 7.5 out of 10. So I give this one a 7.5 out of 10. So great shows. Uh, great shows. Loved it. So that's all for NXT. Now to MLW Fusion. This MLW special episode was good too. Um, First match we had was for the Tornado World Tag Team Championship match. The Von Erichs, Ross and Marshall Von Erich versus the Dirty Blondes, Leo Brim and Michael Patrick for Area Blake. Um, Ross and Marshall Von Erich won. Uh, was a good match. I liked it. Um, the ending was Marshall Von Erich smashed Michael Patrick with their claw slam, finishing the Von Erichs retained the championship. So that's how it ended. Von Erichs won. After the match, Ross and Marshall informed the MLW locker room that they are ready to take on Ian and all newcomers going forward as tag champs. So that's cool. Uh, Rich Bikini reported that Simon Gotch was mentioned acting before his grand match with Jordan Oliver. Uh, Filthy Tom Lawler cut a promo that was good. Uh, they again do the PWI MLW top 10 list. Uh, Now we have the MLW Middleweight Championship title defense match. Myron Reed defended his title with Jordan Oliver in his corner versus Leo Rush. This was a good match. I liked it. It was good to see all these guys. Good to see Leo Rush back wrestling. It was a good match. Leo Rush won for his Man of the Hour frog splash move that he does. So Leo Rush is your new champion. It's a good match. I liked it. They both wrestled good, wrestled hard, did some cool flips and all. And Myron Reed's just always tough. Social Injustice is very interesting and it's always tough. Leo Rush did a good job. Good match. I liked it. So Leo Rush is your new MLW champion. MLW, yeah, MLW middleweight champion. Leo Rush. Um, After the match, Leo bragged on his win and said that he hit fighters in the ring, that he was back and that no one could stop him in his reign as the middleweight champion. Uh, Backstage, Alicia Toot talks to Alexander Hammerstone. Uh, George Samael had to the show to warn everybody that a new soldier for country that want to make his debut tonight. Uh, Said Lena Del Rey to interrupt her segment and said that she's going to have her own show. Next week she's going to be returning and having her own show. Uh, yep, she's going to be running the show next week, basically producing it. Um, Backstage, Myron Reed admitted that Leo Rush was the better man in that match, but Reed preferred to be the young goat. Um, Out of nowhere, Contra Unit, Jacob Fatu, and Simon Gotch and the new soldier attacked Reed and Jordan Oliver. The new soldier is the former TNA X Division champion, Davaris. So Davaris in MLW now. So, yep, that's what that was. Uh, Now we have the last match. Uh, National Openweight Championship, Alexander Hammerstone versus Mats Kruger. The announcers making mention that Alexander Hammerstone's had that title for 2 years now. Nobody's beat him in 2 years. So it's going to be a big match. So I really liked this match. It was very good. They ended up fighting to the outside. I didn't like the ending. They fought outside and fought in the crowd, and the referee never disqualified them. The announcer said the match's been finally going out. We got to go because we're running out of time. So it went off with them still slugging it out. So hopefully they get to continue the match. I wish they would have just continued it and just had them beat the crap out of each other and, just made it a false count anywhere and just somebody pinned each other and the title, whoever won got the title. So I wish they would have ended a little bit better, but it was a very good match and they had a good brawl and I was just really into it. I wish they would have ended it because it was a great brawl. I hated how they ended it. Um, yep. So hopefully they can just continue on it next week and have a winner. Um, yep. All right, so that's the end of MLW for this week. That's the end of my reviews. I just want to hope this video wasn't too long, and I hope I made sense, and I hope you all liked it. Hope my rants wasn't too long. Um, so I give MLW a 6.5 out of 10. It was a good show. And I gave Ring of Honor and AEW both 7.5 out of 10s. So just a great, great night of wrestling, in my opinion. Ring of Honor, like I said, was a good Saturday, too. NXT and uh, NXT and AEW were just great shows, in my opinion. Um, they both had two instant classic matches on it, but both 7.5 out of 10s. Shows, in my opinion, MLW was good. Ring of Honor was good. Just another great week for wrestling. All in all, excluding Raw Legends. Now, of course, that was terrible. Um, yep. So that's it for this review. That's all for my show this week. Hope y'all liked it. Hope you guys keep supporting me, and please give me feedback and everything and comments and let me know what you guys think of my stuff. Um, Hope everybody's staying safe and staying well. Happy New Year's. Happy wrestling. See ya. Bye.